3 kidney-friendly foods that support natural filtration, plus a morning habit that helps. If you've been noticing puffiness, darker urine, stronger odor, or that heavy feeling, you might wonder if your kidneys are under extra strain. And here's the part most people miss. You don't need a kidney diagnosis to benefit from kidney-friendly habits. In everyday life, our bodies can hold on to extra sodium, and our urine can become more concentrated, especially with low hydration, salty meals, or poor sleep. The good news, in many people, the kidneys respond quickly to better hydration, lower sodium load, and gentler daily choices. In this video, I'll share 3 foods that can support healthy kidney function, and the second one surprises a lot of adults. Stay with me to the end for a bonus morning routine that many of my patients find helpful. 1. The soothing start. Parsley plus lemon warm broth. We're starting with something comforting, aromatic, and simple. This is not a magic cleanse. It's a gentle way to support hydration and urine flow, 2 things kidneys love. What it is: a warm, low-sodium broth with fresh parsley and a squeeze of lemon. Why it may help: simple explanation. Parsley contains natural plant compounds, and many people find it supports a mild diuretic effect, meaning you may urinate a bit more. Lemon adds citrate, which can be helpful for people who are prone to certain types of kidney stones, and most importantly, warm broth makes it easier to drink fluids consistently, which helps dilute concentrated urine. What you might notice: some people report urine looks lighter when they hydrate better. Some feel less puffy when they reduce sodium and improve fluid balance. Practical routine, senior-friendly. Aim for 1 mug, about 8 to 12 ounces, earlier in the day. Best time, late morning to mid-afternoon. Not right before bed, so you're not up all night. Try it for 3 to 5 days as a gentle reset, then use it occasionally as a supportive habit. How to make it: easy. Warm, low-sodium vegetable broth. Add a handful of chopped parsley. Add lemon at the end, so the flavor stays fresh. Optional: a drizzle of olive oil. What to avoid pairing it with: if you drink this and then eat a very salty meal, the effect gets canceled. This works best on days you keep processed foods lower. Ingredient tips: same guided style. Choose parsley that's deep green and crisp. Choose lemons that feel heavy for their size. Cautions: important. If you take blood thinners, like warfarin, don't suddenly increase parsley daily without asking your clinician. Vitamin K matters. If citrus irritates your bladder or reflux, use less lemon or skip it. Do not overflush. If you urinate more, you still need steady water during the day. And now, let's move to the one that surprises people because it's simple, filling, and kidney-friendly when done correctly. 2. The surprising bowl, chickpeas, plus turmeric, kidney-friendly when sodium stays low. Now we move to something with crunch, fiber, and steady energy. Before we continue, tell me in the comments where you're watching from in the US, and whether your main issue is water retention, frequent urination, or high blood pressure. This second option supports kidney health in a very practical way because it helps with 2 big drivers: sodium balance, blood sugar stability, which matters a lot for kidney stress over time. What it is: a bowl built around chickpeas, lightly seasoned with turmeric, plus hydrating add-ons like cucumber and greens. Why it may help: chickpeas provide fiber, which helps the body move waste through the intestines so the kidneys aren't doing all the work alone. They also provide plant protein, which many people find easier on the body when portions are reasonable. Turmeric is often used to support a calmer inflammatory response in the body. Key rule: keep sodium low. Choose no salt-added canned chickpeas or cook them at home. Best timing and portion: lunch or early dinner is ideal. Start with 1 to 2 cups and only increase if your digestion feels good. Simple preparation: rinse chickpeas well. Toss with olive oil, turmeric, pepper, and just a tiny pinch of salt, or none. Roast until crisp. Serve with greens, plus cucumber. A spoon of tahini or yogurt. Dressing engagement question: same style. Do you feel better with a higher protein lunch or a lighter lunch? Comment higher or lighter. Safety notes: chickpeas contain potassium. If you have kidney disease and you're on a potassium restriction, portion size matters. Check with your clinician. If chickpeas cause gas at first, start small and drink enough water. If this is helpful so far, Hit like because it helps this reach adults who are trying to take care of their kidneys in a safe, practical way. Now, let's shift to a third option that supports the kidneys indirectly by improving the upstream system, the gut and urinary tract. 3. The gut urinary support mix, plain yogurt plus cranberries plus chia. This one is tangy, satisfying, and very easy to make. What it is: plain yogurt or lactose-free yogurt, a small serving of cranberries, fresh or unsweetened, chia seeds. Why it may help: simple and honest. A healthier gut environment can support a healthier bloodstream, and that can reduce the burden on the kidneys over time. Cranberries are commonly used for urinary tract support, especially for people prone to irritation. Chia adds fiber and healthy fats, which support digestion and regularity. What you might notice: some people notice they feel lighter when bowel movements are more regular and hydration improves. Some feel less urinary irritation when they avoid excess sugar and keep fluids steady. Timing: best mid-morning or early afternoon, not late at night. Serving idea: 3/4 to 1 cup plain yogurt. A small handful of cranberries, or unsweetened dried in small amount, 1 teaspoon chia, start low. Ingredient tips: choose yogurt that says live active cultures. Avoid sugary flavored yogurts. Extra sugar can work against your goals. Safety notes: if you're prone to kidney stones, some people need to watch certain fruits, seeds. Discuss personal risk with your clinician. If you take blood thinners, ask about cranberry intake because it may interact for some individuals. If lactose bothers you, use lactose-free. Now, before we finish, here's the bonus habit that's simple, free, and often overlooked. Bonus: morning warm hydration routine. Before coffee, before scrolling, a gentle hydration start can help many adults produce less concentrated urine. What to do: drink 10 to 14 ounces of warm water within the first hour of waking. Why warm water? Not because cold water is bad, but warm water is easier for many people to drink early, and consistency is what matters. Hydration supports blood flow through the kidneys and helps the body start its filtration day smoothly. Optional add-ins: gentle. If you tolerate it, a few mint leaves, skip daily lemon if it irritates your bladder or reflux. One more helpful add-on: after drinking, do 60 seconds of light movement. Ankle rolls, a slow walk, gentle stretching. This can help fluid move instead of pooling. Red flags: important. If you have swelling that's new, severe, or one-sided. Shortness of breath, chest pain, confusion, fever, or severe flank pain. Don't treat that with food. That deserves medical attention. Let's bring it together. Parsley plus lemon warm broth supports hydration and gentle urine flow. Chickpeas plus turmeric bowl supports sodium balance and steadier metabolism when sodium stays low. Yogurt plus cranberries plus chia supports gut and urinary comfort in many people. And morning warm water helps reduce concentrated urine and starts your day hydrated. If this gave you clarity, type guide in the comments so I know to make more videos like this. And for weekly, calm, practical health guidance for adults 40 and up, subscribe to Senior Guide. Share this with someone who keeps saying, "I don't feel right lately, but I can't explain why." But here's the payoff. When anxiety is reduced, the body can start healing in every way. Blood pressure returns to normal, inflammation decreases, the sleep-wake cycle can deepen, and energy levels normalize. The benefit of taking magnesium glycinate isn't just for the anxious mind, but for developing a body environment in which the body can start healing, instead of just constantly compensating. This would not just be about treating anxiety for someone in their 50s, but fixing their body, which has been working overtime for the past 50 years. Benefit number 3, regulates blood sugar and prevents metabolic disorders. While magnesium glycinate is commonly recognized as a sleep aid or an anxiety-relieving supplement, its true importance lies in its ability to lower blood sugar levels and prevent metabolic disorders, particularly in individuals above the age of 50 years. As a person ages, the human body naturally becomes non-sensitive to insulin, making the body's tissues resistant to insulin. As a result, glucose lingers in the blood and the prevalence of prediabetes and type 2 diabetes is observed, quietly entering the individual's lifestyle. Insulin resistance is a condition experienced by individuals who otherwise follow a satisfactory diet. Magnesium is the key element in this scenario, as insulin cannot function or work without magnesium. Moreover, a deficiency of magnesium makes it impossible for the insulin molecules to penetrate the cell membrane so as to transfer glucose, making the glucose molecules linger in the blood, which causes oxidative damage to the blood vessels, nervous tissue, kidneys, and the heart of the individual, leading to the development of metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. Due to this reason, a low blood magnesium level has been significantly recognized as a factor in the development of insulin resistance and high fasting blood sugar levels in individuals' bodies. However, magnesium glycinate prevents this by enhancing the sensitivity of the human insulin receptors of the cell membranes. This makes the glucose molecules readily transfer from the blood into the cell membranes, removing the blood sugar spikes throughout the day because the individual does not experience dizzy spells or feels exhausted between the two eating intervals once the magnesium is replenished in the individual's blood. This is ascertained by the research study carried out on the World Journal of Diabetes, indicating the increased prevalence of type 2 diabetes in individuals experiencing low magnesium levels in their blood. On the other hand, magnesium glycinate promotes the activity of the human insulin receptors, thus enhancing the insulin sensitivity of the individual's cell receptors, improving the individual's insulin resistance and blood sugar levels. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and other scientific sources have found that magnesium helps to lower the severity and occurrence of muscle cramping, so prevalent in older populations which have higher deficiency rates due to reduced absorption and higher pharmacological consumption. Magnesium glycinate also deserves a special mention because of its superior absorbability and tolerability, which is especially important for people over 50 because some supplements can be too irritating for an aging gut. But beyond regulating blood sugar, this supplement has many other benefits. By regulating blood sugar, several other conditions related to inflammation, extra fat, and strain on the pancreas and nervous systems can be reduced. The blood vessels can also remain healthy and supple, which eliminates the dangers of heart disease, a leading concern for people over 50. Most important of all, this supplement can provide a person with unbroken and consistent energy because, rather than going through the cycles of ups and downs, the body becomes a smooth and streamlined energy burner. That is why it is hard to consider magnesium glycinate just a sleep and stress relief supplement, because most fundamentally, this is a cornerstone supplement necessary for healthy metabolic functioning and the prevention of hidden damage from blood sugar irregularities. Benefit number 4, alleviates muscle spasms, tensions, and stiffness associated with aging. Perhaps the most common misunderstood sign of magnesium deficiencies post-age 50 is muscle stiffness, especially nighttime leg spasms, restless leg syndrome, tightening of shoulders, clenching of jaws, and that nagging stiffness that never seems gone. Most people just assume this condition is a natural part of aging due to lack of hydration, overexertion, and overwork. But literally, this translates into a lack of relaxation, and magnesium is literally, directly, and absolutely fundamental to correcting this imbalance. Now, it seems important because contraction and relaxation are equally important for muscles, and that role belongs specifically and specifically and uniquely and specifically, uniquely. Significantly, this can be done without the side effect of a laxative, which comes into play for other options, including magnesium oxide or citrate. Thus, this supplement can play a crucial role for individuals aged 50 years onwards, as it provides relief without the accompanying digestive issue. Summing up, if the body feels tense, spasmodic, or sore even when rested and well hydrated, then the supplement may address the underlying issue instead of treating the symptoms, as relaxation translates into good sleep, pain relief, and eased mobility, which represent the 3 foundations of living an ageless life. Benefit number 5, helps promote a normal heart rhythm and an overall stable heart rate. With age, the heart and its functionality are ever more affected by mineral imbalances, the mineral of prime interest here being magnesium. One of the least discussed but most essential uses of magnesium concerns its capacity to modulate electrical activity within the heart. Without adequate magnesium in the body, the heart rate can quickly go into an irregular rhythm, a condition characterized by palpitations, irregular beats, arrhythmia, or perhaps by that fluttering in the chest of men and women over age 50 that they may recognize and ignore and thus discount its significance. Electrical stabilizer is just one name that can appropriately be attributed to magnesium. This mineral controls calcium and potassium entry and exit of heart cells, a critical component since both calcium and potassium have a direct impact on how each heartbeat should reset itself. Too much calcium invades heart cells in an abrupt manner without enough magnesium to modulate calcium flow. Magnesium glycinate is also useful because it effectively delivers magnesium to the body without irritating the digestive tract, which is important to ensure that the heart gets magnesium daily. Through publication in medical journals such as Open Heart and American Journal of Cardiology, various studies have demonstrated that when magnesium is provided in sufficient amounts, it leads to decreased rhythm disturbances, variability in heart rate, and decreased episodes of sudden death due to cardiovascular problems, especially among senior patients. Apart from regulating rhythm, magnesium glycinate is also useful in regulating blood pressures. It works by relaxing the smooth muscles and the wall of blood vessels. As such, the arteries can stretch easily without any obstacles, which results in improved blood flow. It also decreases the tension associated with the muscles, which in turn decreases systolic and diastolic blood pressures. For patients experiencing early hypertension or those whose blood vessels have grown rigid as they get older, such an approach is highly effective. There is even more to magnesium when it comes to benefiting the cardiovascular system. For example, magnesium helps to decrease chronic inflammation in blood vessels, as it also decreases any potential oxidative stress that accrues within such vessels. Moreover, it maintains the appropriate levels of cholesterol. Arterial calcification is also decreased when the body is not deficient in magnesium. In fact, appropriate levels of magnesium ensure that the arteries remain elastic and sensitive to demands at all times. There is also a critical aspect of magnesium that works silently to save the heart at all times, without actually increasing the burden for which the heart is responsible. As such, it provides an internal stimulus that allows the heart to beat in a steady, efficient, and safe manner at all times, without leading to any fatigue, stress, or additional workload, among which might put the heart at risk. If you ever experienced episodes of palpitations that just won't explain themselves, a fluttering heartbeat when you sleep, and a rising blood pressure that won't respond to changes on your end, then a magnesium deficiency is likely a contributing factor. However, magnesium glycinate does not substitute for treatment, but is a mineral base necessary for a strong heartbeat with vigor and vitality when you grow older. Benefit number 6, preserves the strength of the bones and minimizes the loss of minerals due to aging. While most people consider the health and strength of their bones when they hear about calcium, here's the most essential thing that most adults past the age of 50 are not told. Without sufficient amounts of magnesium, calcium won't work effectively. Magnesium, after all, is one of the most underrated minerals when it comes to the health and strength of the bones. These 6 reasons, in conclusion, explain why magnesium glycinate is far more than just a sleep aid and anxiolytic mineral. It is, in fact, an essential piece in effective healthy aging. Part 2. The 3 major mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1, not considering elemental magnesium and accidentally underdosing. This is by far the worst and most deceptive mistake in nearly every cardinal regimen involving magnesium glycinate, particularly in those above 50 years of age. They piece together dosage levels by looking only at capsules, not content. This looks very good, they say. 400 migraine magnesium glycinate. It is high potency and recommended by my doctor. The catch? They explain nothing in polite print, but ignore entirely that not nearly as much as advertised will be delivered. Think this through. The glycinate refers to chemical bonds to glycine. Its weight shows not only this chemical weight, but purely gross chemical weight, as it would appear in your tissues, and not as desirably small and compact as it is in magnesium glycinate. In truth, this truth has migrated into shelf dressing. Since early 2000, manufacturing company Shelf Marketing has focused not upon natural, organic, or all natural. Instead, they focused in greater depth on supplement potency. Briefly, this can be seen in capsules in varying strength. In these strengths, 200, 250, 250, 200, and 250 micrograms of elemental, particularly in 200, 250, and 250 capsules. This, mind you, in major supplement retailers. Capsules, according to these strengths, can be broken down into elements. The elemental, in this example, severity, in capsules, severity in 250, 200, 250, 200, and 250 mg of elemental in 200, 250, 250, 200, and 250 capsules. Why? Simply, capsules don't meet supplement potency. It will be recalled, however, that elemental, in this example, referred to severity. It's here, in this term, that this question will be answered. Elements in supplement potency, in not nearly as advertised an amount, has undercut, in varying degrees, nearly every cardinal precept either existed previously or has existently spawned. In this, especially in those aged 50 plus, 250 to 200 W capsules no longer meet supplement potency. Why? It has undercut precepts in supplement adequate potency. Noticed? In each example, it goes only by grams. Elements in supplement potency no longer advertise nearly as adequate and not nearly as much as advertised as nearly every cardinal precept in varying degrees exists. In this, again in 250 to 200 mugger elements, as supplement potency no longer meet supplement potency. Why? It means taking numerous capsules or finding one that is already blended together properly and contains the proper amount of elements within each dose. If the amount of elemental magnesium is not enough, there is no amount of taking the supplement that achieves the intended goal. When it is taken properly, however, magnesium glycinate can finally accomplish what it is intended for, to bring balance back, calm the overactive systems, and assist in healthy aging from the inside out. Realizing the importance of one aspect of the supplement can mean the difference between getting another disappointment out of taking supplements and finding a mineral that actually works and changes the experience of one's day. Mistake number 2 is taking too much of the magnesium glycinate at one time. Mistake number 2 is exactly that. It can be considered an innocent mistake, but deep within the structure of one taking magnesium glycinate, it will hinder each morsel of this mineral and everything it is supposed to do. Of course, one of the properties of magnesium glycinate is that it is one of the most needed elements of the human body. When that is realized, one merely needs to take enough of it. A large amount at one time is supposed to provide faster or better results. Unfortunately, the human body doesn't process magnesium glycinate this way, and after age 50, it won't be absorbed. When taking the large dose, it is supposed to be absorbed. There is actually an absorption ceiling per dose. When an abundance of this nutrient is introduced through taking too much at once, when it isn't absorbed properly, it lingers around the gut and pulls water toward the intestines. Although sounding gross, it is also grossly uncomfortable when happening within one's personal body. When this process is happening, one isn't receiving relaxation throughout the nervous systems or help through sleep. For seniors especially, this problem is compounded. The muscles inside the digestive tract move slower with age, enzyme secretion decreases, and the lining of the intestines becomes more sensitive. Taking a high dose of magnesium can cause discomfort to your intestinal tract, prompting episodes of diarrhea that cause people to forego taking it altogether. They conclude that their bodies can't handle magnesium when, in fact, it was just a matter of when they took their doses. There is a physiological explanation as to how dividing your doses is beneficial. You see, your body uses magnesium for hundreds of processes daily, from regulating your blood sugar to relaxing your muscles, from managing your heart rate to managing your stress hormones. Such processes are sustained when you take your doses of magnesium over a period of time. That is, when you break your doses up rather than taking them all in one sitting. The better method, particularly for ageless energy, is to take magnesium glycinate in 2 separate doses. One set of benefits in the earlier part of the day can include muscle activity, blood sugar support, and the reduction of stressful responses. The subsequent dose in the evening can include relaxation responses, GABA functions, and restorative sleep. The body can assimilate magnesia as it would in nature. Thus, smaller, more frequent dosing is essential for increased bioavailability and reduced side effects. Its benefits would then include calmer nerves, relaxed muscles, consistent levels of energy, and deeper sleep. With this one adjustment alone, magnesium glycinate can become one of the most beneficial vitamins in an aging body. Error number 3, selecting magnesium glycinate products loaded with fillers and additives. Ironically, this is probably one of the most common damaging mistakes that occur when supplementing with magnesium glycinate. Although 2 products appear to contain the same ingredient and strength, 2 bottles labeled magnesium glycinate, 400 milliliters each, the actual content can differ substantially, particularly when considering adults over the age of 50. Most mass-market products are loaded with bulking ingredients, binders, anti-caking agents, and other additives that are intended to make products cheaper to produce and longer-lasting, not better for you. The issue lies not only with the ingredient's actual function, sitting around and performing no actual duty, but also their side effects. They may interfere with magnesium's absorption in the body, irritate the intestinal lining, or even offset the benefits that you seek to derive from supplementation itself. Common fillers used in supplements, including maltodextrin, cornstarch, rice starch, or modified food starch, have an extremely high glycemic index. These additives secretly jack up the levels of glucose and insulin in senior patients seeking to stabilize their blood sugar, reduce inflammation, or promote overall metabolic protection, even as they take the supposedly beneficial magnesium for blood sugar regulation. This defeats the intended purpose of their supplemental regimen in patients with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, for whom they take magnesium purely for inducing an improvement in their insulin sensitivity. Other supplemental additives raise other alarms. There's magnesium stearate, which is commonly added as an anti-sticking agent during the encapsulation process for capsules, but has been found to decrease the absorption of other nutrients should the individual take too much of this additive for their own purposes. Another additive is the whitener, titanium dioxide, commonly used still in supplementary dietary products, yet banned in the European Union for food due to interlocked health dangers of biologically measured cumulative tissue buildup and DNA damage. Another additive in supplements is microcrystalline cellulose, another filler found neither nutritionally useful nor acceptable in processed foods that may produce gastrointestinal discomforts or swelling in those sensitive to such additive fillers. This becomes more problematic at an older age. When an individual exceeds their 5th decade, their gastrointestinal system becomes more easily irritated, their detox systems slow down, or their inflammatory system becomes more easily activated. What worked at 30 may secretly be creating problems at 60. When an individual takes any supplementary dietary item intended to calm down their internal organs and systems, what they should note is that this should also look after their gastrointestinal or perhaps their hepatic systems as well. There's only a single answer to this dilemma: take pure magnesium glycinate with absolutely minimal supplementary components. Ideally, these should contain no more than these 2 supplementary compounds, or no more than 4 at most for those 2, with an additive component that is inactive or absolutely inert to biological systems, or at most 2 actual supplementary compounds that have absolutely no biological activity or effect upon their bodily systems at all. Another marker for this supplementary food item quality is the third-party verification factor, or their stability characteristics, or their pharmaceutical grade source or orientation. When an individual attempts to attain agelessness and becomes ageless, what they actually need in their supplementary foods is minimum content as they age. Since an individual aged 60 needs no more than what an individual aged 18 or 30 needs, as much as they actually don't need more due to their purported increasing biological agelessness within their systems, what they should be after in their supplementary foods to make them ageless or act ageless is those that have the minimum content in their supplements should look after these supposed various magical age-reversing bodily needs or systems within their ageless bodily structures or systems, as much as they absolutely don't need more, due to their genuine passively increasing agelessness. Final conclusion. Magnesium glycinate is more than just another supplementary item that an individual places upon their shelf for simple storage or temporary holding purposes. But for those aged 50 plus, it may just prove to be the secret to successful aging itself, providing solid support for enhanced sleep, tranquil nerves, regulated blood sugar, loose muscles, and a sound heart. However, as has been illustrated, the strength of this remedy has been found not only in what it can do, but in how you administer it. The wonders of taking the correct form of magnesium at the correct dosage and at the correct time can truly synchronize well with the human body's natural processes in terms of nerve functions and metabolism. However, should it be taken the wrong way, in other words, taken in improper dosages or in improper forms of absorption, especially when filled with unnecessary ingredients, it may very well nullify its potency in the human body. This may explain why many may claim, magnesium hasn't worked for me. In fact, the answer would simply be that it was never taken in the correct manner for you to truly benefit from it. The crucial lesson here would thus sum up to this simple fact. In order for aging bodies to truly benefit from supplements, They should not require more but demand more intelligence. The best recommendation for this would best go to someone aged 50 plus who may presently experience symptoms of lack of sleep, tense muscles, anxiousness, unstable blood sugar, and simply fatigue in their bodies. In such cases, taking correct amounts of this specific form of this supplement may prove to be the best rejuvenating step you may take for yourselves in terms of improving what you may already have been doing, for the simple reason that this specific substance may prove to be the best supplement of all for you in this present new decade of health and wellness. Finally, now would love to hear from you in this matter. Are you someone who may have already tried this particular substance before, and did it offer you positive effects in improving what you already had in terms of health? Or did you experience any side effects in the process? Either way, you can now share it in the box below for others in the Senior Guide family to benefit from learning more of the same, including this video itself, should you now gain clarity in terms of supplements in general, like this video itself. Should you now decide to press that notify button and finally get to subscribe to Senior Guide for the many new breakthroughs to come in the new decade of health and wellness that may soon follow for you.